Okay, I'm going to be a horrible video director here and admit something. I've tried this about 6 times now. Keep getting interrupted by people walking through, and then I feel like an idiot just sitting here talking to a camera and ignoring my neighbors when they walk by. So if there's some stress in my voice, that's what this is. Let's do this quickly. Pulled up some of these onions, and some of the ones that were in the ground. Was not happy. I did the Mint Lighter weekly feed, and for about 3 or 4 weeks, they seemed to really react good to it. I kept some of these in here. I'm going to see if, now that we're really in the middle of summer, that these will wake up again and start doing what they're supposed to do. These onions were only about as big as my thumb, maybe a little bit bigger. I continue to have problems with my tomatoes. I moved this one over here to get it away from my other ones, and that did not help, as you'll see in a second. It continues to put on tomatoes, but you can see I've got edge of the leaf brown, crumpling, curling, yellowing of the leaves. My cantaloupe, which was doing very well, which continues to grow, but now it's got a pretty tremendous problem with yellowing and browning of the edge of the leaves, as well as brown spots throughout the leaves. My second blackberry plant, which was covered in berries, all of the berries have done this, which is they'll look like this, and within a matter of days they shrivel up, turn brown, and die. And one part of the vine is already dying. This is brand new soil. It gets direct sunlight for a few hours each day. I just do not know what's going on. This is my other blackberry plant, which seems to be doing okay. I do have some yellowing of the leaves down here at the bottom. I had one flower which tried to make a fruit and then promptly browned and shriveled up. My watermelon, as soon as I got this trellis up, I have 2 watermelon plants. As soon as I got this one on this trellis, it took off as far as the growth is concerned, and it's got plenty of flowers, but nothing is making. This one, I tried to trellis it, and it is just really taken a turn for the worse. So I don't know if I have something wrong with my soil over here. My raspberry plant, the original cane, never came back. It sent up these 2 new ones, and they've taken off, except now they're getting this variegated look in all the leaves, and the leaves are crumpling up like this. There are no bugs anywhere that I can see. No bugs on the vines themselves, or the canes themselves, I'm sorry. I just watered, so that's why there's some water on these bottom leaves. But I don't know what to think. I've looked at these plants from top to bottom, and I mean, occasionally I'll see a bug every once in a while, but I don't see any really holes in the plants, like they're getting eaten on. So these are the other onions that were in the container, and they're not doing anything. I mean, they're worse than... I dug a couple up here at the end of the container, and they're horrible. They don't even look like they've grown from when I planted them. I picked about half of what I had here in the ground, and what I had here in the ground did better than what I had in containers. I picked all of those, and I don't know what to think about that. Okay, and just like a prophet in the Bible, I said I killed strawberry plants, and there's the proof. Brand new container with irrigation in the bottom of it. I won't show you, but just trust me. Brand new soil, slightly acidic soil. I made sure kept the crowns up above the top of the soil, mulched, added the Mittlighter weekly feed like I'm supposed to. This is not wet. It's moist and pretty and black and crumbly and everything you'd think it's supposed to be. It's moist, but it's not so wet that it sticks to my fingers. And these are only I guess they're going on 3 weeks old. It's just ridiculous. My lettuce is all but dead. This one is barely hanging on. I found that I had cutworms in one of my other beds, not this one, but so I've tried to dig around in here and see if I could find some underneath the soil, and I haven't. I'm not sure. I can't grow lettuce, I can't grow spinach, I can't grow strawberries. I am fairly good at growing basil and having it flower. Basically because I just ignore it except for water it when it looks like it's about dead, and that's what everybody's told me to do with cilantro and mint and basil. Ignore it, mistreat it, and it'll come back every time. This orange tree, this is the older of the two, the one that got knocked out of the container twice by big storms and was covered, literally covered in oranges. Now has one orange on it, which is incredibly depressing. This is the other one. This is the one that's younger, that I've had the longest, and it has so far kept several of the oranges that are on it, but as you can see right here, it is dropping some. As you can see where they used to be on here. So, you know, I check the water in here all the time. I have a soil test wand that will tell me the pH and how wet or dry the soil is, and I keep these fairly wet. I don't ever let it get down into the dry stages on that meter. And again, this is that sun gold variety that I was so happy about and love the taste of them, and you can see what happens to the leaves, and this is what happens. It just continues down the stalk, and it eventually affected my Italian plum. And I've sprayed it with store-bought stuff. I've sprayed it with baking soda, and I don't know what to do anymore about it. It got into this Parks Whopper, which I have a handful of tomatoes on, but this is what it would look like. And then it would do this, and then it would go all the way up. And so what I've eventually started doing was just cutting them off. As soon as I saw anything, I started cutting it off, trying to keep it from getting back into the rest of the plant, and it's not doing anything. It eventually got into this one, which I had in another spot, and I brought it over here to get it out of the wind. And but tomatoes that are right next to it, because I don't have any other place to put them, like this one and this one, look just fine and are flowering still. They're younger plants, but I mean, this one I got the same time I got those other two, and this is the other Parks Whopper. I mean, there's not a leaf left on it, and it just looks like it's dying straight back to the vine. Straight back to the ground. Peppers are doing well. I did have my last spinach start right here, and I finally dumped it. It's not doing anything. It wasn't doing anything no matter what I did, and I think it's just too hot for spinach now here in South Texas. My patio tomatoes, this one has one tomato on it, this one has nothing, and now it's got the same stuff on it. This one has not put one bloom on the entire time. Nothing. And I just keep hanging on, hoping that it's going to catch up. The reason why the soil looks so wet right now in some of these is because I just got through watering. I am not over watering. Anyway, the pepper plants that I just bought, well, not just bought, I bought them the same time that I got those tomatoes. Strawberries, I'm sorry. They're doing fine. They've already flowered, put out fruit. These three are doing really good, and they're coming along. These are coming along. They'll be flowering probably another 2 or 3 days. And the monarch butterflies, the caterpillars, have completely decimated my lantana. Thought I was being a nice guy, trying to give them a place to sleep and eat, and they've completely taken advantage of my hospitality. Pretty caterpillar, and beautiful butterfly, but man, do these guys eat. I can say I'm not happy about it. This little lemon tree is pathetic. This is worse than Charlie Brown Christmas and his Christmas tree. This one may actually get a few lemons on it, but it's so small. I think something's wrong with both of these. I think I've mentioned this story in previous videos, but when I got these two, it was actually 3 lemon trees in one pot. And when I got them home, I broke the root ball up because I noticed that there were 3 different trunks coming out, and I thought it was buried too deep. So I was looking for where the graft hit the main trunk. I thought they had just buried it too deep, and when I continued to kind of excavate, and I found out it was 3 different trees. So I separated them into 2 containers and gave one to my neighbor. And I've taken very good care of these things, and my neighbor gave it to his daughter to take care of, and I think she watered it, but they pretty much have ignored it, and it's in a very small pot, about the same size as this tomato, and it actually made a couple of lemons last year, and it's grown tall and way outgrown the pot that it's in, and I gave these two plenty of room to grow, and they've done nothing and continue to lose leaves, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I have one pink navel orange, or cara. All the other ones fell off. You can see where they used to be. I had several of them, and I have I think 2 or 3 mandarins, and that's it. Both these plants were covered. There's a little one down here. Both these plants were covered, and it lost everything. My sour orange is covered. It's got probably 100 little tiny oranges, and they're going to continue to grow. My La Feliciana peach tree, this one right here, has just blasted onto the scene from nothing. I thought it was dead, literally, to it just came alive and is doing very well. What's interesting is these branches that were on the tree when I got it, no buds came out of this at all, which is really strange. I mean, I think I've got some of the lower ones that might have, yeah, if you can see here. This one's got a few that are coming on, but I mean, some of these don't have anything. And I'm not sure if that's common in peach trees because I've never had any. But my Dave Wilson 3-in-1 continues to get big. I'm not going to get any peaches off of it, obviously. That or my plum tree or my almond tree. But you know, could be worse. I could own an orchard and have had this happen to all of my trees, and I would be looking at a completely busted year and wondering how I'm going to pay the mortgage and eat next week. So, you know, there's that. Still got some peppers coming on, and I think that's about it. I added some flowers. I got a few complaints from I have been overhearing from people complaining about my plants out here. So I added some color, and the complaints went away. And as some of you might be able to guess who the complaints might have been coming from, considering that when I put some flowers out here, the complaints went away. Women, excuse me. The stuff I have in the ground just does not get enough sun over here. It gets sun in the morning. The Swiss chard continues to do great. I cut a bunch of it back and gave to my neighbor. I have my last tomato that I grew inside right there. That pepper continues to come back, and these are the last of my mesclun salad starts, and my last lettuce plant that bolted, and I just cut it off. I have one sweet pea plant and one Italian pole bean, and that's watermelon right there. So I think that's it. The pomegranate has seen better days. I'm not sure what's going on with it. But the Meyer lemon that I bought has a lot of lemons on it. So it looks like I'm going to get maybe 6 or 8 lemons off this little tree here. And that's it. Strawberries are all dead in here. All my starts in here are dead except for 2 plants, and they'll be dead this week sometime, no matter how I try to baby them. So that'll do it for this week. This is my last week of my day job for the summer, and I'm hoping I'll get to do put in a lot more time out here. I've been investigating, trying to start some community gardens in a couple of different places, and trying to get myself ready for hurricane season. I have enough food, I think. I don't have enough water, and I don't have enough provision for keeping food cold. I can feed myself, but I can't keep food cold yet for an extended period of time. Stocked up on batteries, and I can cook for myself even without power for probably a week, maybe more than that, between propane and charcoal. But that'd be pretty bad if it came down to that. So anyway, like I always try to say, I realize I don't say it every time. You can look at me and realize I have very little to work with, and I feel like I'm doing as much as I can. So wherever you are in your life, even if you're one of 2 or 3 people that watch this video, and this video helped you or encouraged you in some way, that's why I'm doing it. I'm not trying to make a living off this. I'm certainly not feeding myself off this, but I'm gaining experience. I'm dealing with problems as they happen when it doesn't really matter. If all this stuff died tomorrow or was destroyed tomorrow, of course I'd be hacked off. I've got a lot of money invested in this stuff, and I have a good portion of my living hours involved in this stuff. But I'm not depending on this. I'm not living off this. If something happens in your life and you have to live off of what you can raise, grow, produce, you know, this is why you do this stuff, so that you learn how to do it when it doesn't matter, when it's not life or death, whether it's you eat or not eat. So if this is encouraging to you, I'm glad. That's why I'm doing it. I'm not an expert. In many cases, I don't know what I'm doing other than what I'm reading or what I can remember from when I was a kid with my dad and with my grandfather. And my grandfather didn't talk very much, so I had to just watch him. And I was more interested probably in playing and goofing off when I was with my dad. But I do remember some things that he taught me. So to finish up, do what you can with what you got. That's what it comes down to. Do what you can with what you got. All right. Take care. Have a good week.